You're live? Yep. Oh, hey, welcome to the Doom City of Granitegard. Here on the Guardtower Presents. It's our weekly live play fantasy adventure. And as you're probably noticing, things look a little bit different tonight. And that is because we've had a couple of our cast and crew encounter the COVID virus. So we are trying to get ahead of that curve right now. And we're going to do a little bit of remote action until everybody can beat COVID and come up with negative tests. One time in your life, I guess you really want negative tests, right? So let's hope that everything turns out right and we get back in the studio and get things back to normal. So yes, every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. we stream our new episodes. That's Eastern Standard Time here on the Guardtower's Twitch channel. And then on Fridays we post that week's episode, unless there's a little bit of a boo-boo like this week, but don't worry, we'll have that up here shortly for you folks on that. If you're interested in what we're doing here and you like what we've got going on, go ahead and give us a follow on Twitch or like and subscribe on YouTube. If you've already done that, we certainly do appreciate that. It helps the channel grow. And if you're interested in all things that have to do with the Doom City of Granitegard, go ahead and check out our Linktree, which is linktr.ee/dcog. And you'll probably see it there on the screen, and I'm sure our monitor for the chat will be dropping that into the channel there as well. So yeah, you can go in there. You can find our Patreon, you can find our Twitter/X, whatever you're calling it this week. You can get the Guardtower's Twitch, you can get their YouTube, and you can join us on Discord. We'd love to hear from you. And outside of that, we have Pocket Bar tonight, providing our music and sound effects. It's a very easy to use program that you can drop onto your phone, bring a little bit of magic to your own table on that. And also on a, trying to figure where I was in that. Got to stick to the script, sorry about that. If you are in the Columbus area and you like role-playing games like we do, go ahead and stop by the Guardtower, either the east or west locations. You can find strategy games, card games, dice, all kinds of things there, as well as a wonderful gaming community. If you can't go and visit them in person, you can check them out online at theguardtower.com. Again, it's at theguardtower.com. You get a full range of all the various supplies they have available for you there. You can again stop in and visit their communities and check out, find some new friends to go adventuring with. I do believe that kind of wraps up everything I've got for this evening. Roger, is there anything I missed on that?
No, that was beautiful, Will. Beautiful.
Yeah, almost. I almost had it exactly right, then got off track of that. But, you know, one of these evenings we'll have a good plug all the way through. Tell you what, it's my favorite time of the night where we get to roll some dice. You guys excited for that?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and roll our intro, and we'll do a quick recap and get into tonight's adventure. We'll see you here shortly.
Once the seat of economic and political power in the Northern Territories, the city of Granitegard fell in one catastrophic moment of terror and bloodshed. In the quiet hours of the night, the massive granite mesa that served as the city's namesake exploded violently, the debris reducing entire swaths of the city to ruin. Before the inhabitants could even comprehend what had happened, they were blindsided by an army of monstrosities surging from the sewers and into the city streets. The militia valiantly attempted to protect the fleeing citizens, but their efforts were futile against the overwhelming tide of bloodthirsty creatures. And in the midst of the chaos, the city gates slammed shut, turning Granitegard into a death trap for anyone that remained behind the high, fortified walls that had been meant to protect them. For over a decade, it has stood as silent as a tomb, and shrouded in a perpetual mist. No one has entered, and nothing human has ever come out. That is, until now. 12 years to the day since the fall of Granitegard, the Trader's Gate has opened. The news has spread like wildfire across the human crescent. And like a siren's call, fortune hunters from far and wide have been drawn by the possibility of untold riches lying just inside the city walls. Daring the foolish and the brave to risk it all at a chance of wealth beyond their wildest dreams. It has also stirred the interest of old rivals. With no one from the original bloodline to claim the mantle of leadership of Granitegard, plans are forming in the dark. Powerful forces seek to play their games of state, as the lives of everyone in the North hangs in the balance. And in the midst of this all, 6 strangers have been drawn to Granitegard by something other than riches or power. Their destiny is tied to the events surrounding the fall of the city. Each of them must confront the past in order to find a way forward. Each of them must search for answers in the doomed city of Granitegard.
All right, and welcome back. So the party has returned to Newtown, looking to get supplies for their new Cobalt allies. And in the process of doing so, they've also discovered things have changed within Newtown itself. The party first visited Rose at the bakery, where they discovered that the Concordance has been making some moves on several businesses around town. And at that point, the party decided to break up, with the Reverend, Anna, Echo, and Sky looking to take a secret passage to head over and speak to Lord Erindale to see how he was doing, while the rest of the party decided to go pick up the supplies for the kobolds. The Reverend, Echo, and Anna discovered that the property for Lord Erindale was under a constant watch by the Concordance and almost killed Mr. Creedy, who is Lord Erindale's manservant. Fortunately, they avoided adding a little bit extra murder to their rap charges on that, and did set up a secret meeting with Lord Erindale over at the Red Valerian Inn. Meanwhile, Vaughn, Damon, Skeech, Mary, and Yipyip went over to shop over at the general store, where they were able to locate the grain, and then switched over to the butcher shop where they got the meat for the kobolds. However, they were going to have several pickups for that. They also interjected enough gold into the economy to equate quite a disturbance as far as the local dollars go. Now, as they were heading back to meet up with the rest of the party, they stopped in front of the fairgrounds, where each one of them began exchanging information. And about that point in time, King George came out and gave a speech, which seemed to be very well received by the people of Newtown. As a matter of fact, many of the local individuals were signing up to join King George's forces. The party decided that they were going to go visit the fairgrounds, and as only they could possibly do, they spread all kinds of chaos and disorder. Skeech began spreading rumors about King George, while Vaughn and Skeech managed to ruin the face painter lady's career. However, the party did do a couple of nice things. Yipyip was able to help a young lady that just wanted a stuffy, so that was quite nice on that. So I guess, wins and losses on that. Fortunately, Damon did encounter a member of the Way who had signaled to him, saying that they were watching him, which did catapult the party back into reality at that point, and they shifted back to needing to get things done in town, at which point they headed back to the Red Valerian. Coming up to the Red Valerian, they saw an envoy from the church heading in that had been harassing Zilda. At Little Tom's request, Anna was able to steer him out of the Red Valerian and prevent him from continuing to harass Zilda, which point she seemed quite upset about that. They headed upstairs to the secret meeting room, and while they were waiting, there was a rap at the door, and an old man, when they opened it, was waiting for them. The party was most concerned when he asked to enter, but Yipyip, being super excited, brought him on into the room, regardless of any possible warnings or danger. Turned out to be Lord Erindale in disguise. And this is where we pick up our adventure this evening. So, as we had last left off, Lord Erindale has pulled off the cloak and shifted out of that disguise of the old man and greeted the Reverend and greeted Anna, and this is where we had left off. So what are the rest of you doing at this moment in time, please? We'll go ahead and start with you, Vaughn. What are you doing, sir?
So Lord Erindale has entered into the space, but I think still a little bit taken aback by the quick change of appearance. Make sure the door is shut and looks down the hallway to make sure nobody else is followed. Make sure that is as subtle as possible, and then let Anna and the Reverend complete their greeting.
Very good, very good. And let's go ahead and shift over to Anna and the Reverend. So, Reverend, what is it that you're doing at this moment?
He's muted.
You're muted.
Correct. The joys of technology.
I think you're muted on your
Still
headset.
muted.
One more time. I go.
There we go.
There you go.
I go over to Wyatt, and I embrace him. And say, "Oh, it's good to see you, buddy. We thought the worst. We saw an awful lot of guards by your place. We wanted to get to you, but we couldn't. I'm sorry."
He gives you a intense hug back. You can feel his embrace is very much happy to see you as well. And he looks back and he says, "Well, I'm really glad you actually didn't. That could have been a very dangerous encounter for you. The Concordance individuals that were there definitely seemed to be very forceful And I don't know how that would have gone over. They did kind of have blood in their eyes, as you can see probably from Mr. Creedy there. They gave him quite a bit of a lashing for trying to stand up for me on that. So he's a good man, Mr. Creedy. And if anything ever happened to him, I would have felt absolutely horribly. So at this point, he turns over to Anna and brings you kind of over to the Reverend there. And I'm just so glad to see that both of you are safe. And again, thank you for thinking so much about me that you would risk yourselves for that.
I'm so glad that you made it out of there safely. Yes, and Creedy is a treasure.
Absolutely. A little bit crusty every now and then, but a good man nonetheless. King George, again, was a very gracious host once he got me out of the cell. He was apologized for the treatment that I received, and he does seem to be very interested in honoring his commitments here with the town, the pledges that he has made. But I do worry about the company that he's keeping, and they might be using him to further their own interests on that. I never really knew George back in the day when the original sovereign was in power, but from what I understood about him, he was quite the party goer and the ladies' man back in the day, not much into the responsibilities of the court, which is actually why his father passed the mantle on to the Bond's grandfather on that.
Well, I have to admit that sounds like a person I can normally get along with, but I have to ask, you able to speak with him? Why does it seem like he is being held captive? Or do you think that he knows that he's being used?
I have similar questions.
As far as I was able to get a read on him, it's very difficult to tell how much he's using them and how much they are using him. I do believe there might be some mutual on that. Because again, I don't know how he would have been able to afford to put together an army and the forces that he needs to retake whatever has gone on in that city, considering the fact that back in the day when it fell, there was, like 4 times the amount of soldiers in that city.
I'm sorry, but I have to interject. Did you get a sense that George is aware that I am here in the city as well? I know this is an emotional cry of a young person, but George never made an attempt to find me. I thought I was the only person left in my family.
If you forgive me, sire, I did not get a sense that he was even vaguely aware of you. And please don't take any insult to that, but the way he talked and the way he expressed himself, there didn't seem to be anybody. He didn't think anybody was left alive in the family. He thought he was the last.
I guess I can't hold him accountable for that because I assume the same thing.
So now, my spies have been out. Pardon the term. I know that's not for polite conversation, but my eyes have been out and looking. And to be honest with you, we knew George was in the north, but we discounted him as that he was not looked favorably upon by the people that were there. It seems that there's been quite a campaign that has been waged by the Concordance to build him up with the refugees that are still up in the Concordance.
Well, it sounds like this is some much more convoluted game than just like you alluded to.
I do believe so. I mean, it has been my observation that the Concordance families that are bankroll in this, their representatives that are here are buying up a lot of the debt that is in town here, offering low repayments over many years, but the interest that they're charging would certainly make it very difficult for anybody to escape the indentured servitude. It may seem like an offer up front that would be beneficial, but unfortunately these contracts are definitely not in the favor of those that are signing them. And to be honest with you, they've also foreclosed on several businesses around town, particularly ones that seem to be in conflict with their investment interests, and they have been seeking to purchase many of the farms outside of the the village of Newtown here. They've been eating up anybody that would sell them any of the land, whether they're the grain fields or whether they are producing cattle, the pigs, things along those lines. They are buying those all up. They even were seeking to purchase control of these silos, but George did actually put a stop to that. He said the silos needed to remain with the people of Newtown.
Question for you, Vaughn, but also for the rest of the group.
Yes?
Do we think that perhaps we've misjudged old King George? Perhaps he could be an ally if he's being held somewhat against his will, or if he has been brought into a game of intrigue that he wasn't quite prepared for. Perhaps we can sway him to our side.
George was... I was but a boy. My memories are few and far between of the interactions I had with the man. He missed most of our birthdays while growing up, but he wasn't a bad person. He didn't care about matters of court, like my father and my grandfather did. But I think you might be right, Reverend. If he has stepped into this because he believes it's a responsibility which has fallen to him, or worse, he's being manipulated somehow by the Concordance, I think there's still quite a chance for us to reason with George. Although he liked to gallivant around the countryside, he was not an unreasonable individual.
I think either way we need to speak to George to figure this out. Judging him from the outside of only what he's presenting publicly does us no use. We've gotten more insight from talking to Wyatt here than anything we've seen.
Definitely do believe that at some point you all certainly need to have an arranged meeting with George. I don't think now is the moment. I could work on setting something up, but if you were to make your presence known, I can't. I'm not sure how that would play out.
Wyatt, I will defer to your judgment, and I respect your opinion. You have taken care of these people in all of our absences, and for that I am grateful. But it is nearing the time whenever it is no longer appropriate for me to hide who I am. And I think if I'm to step into this position, it needs to be sooner rather than later.
I certainly do believe. But would you allow me, sir, to set some sort of arrangement? Again, I am a tad bit worried about the individuals that are accompanying him and what their motivations may be. There have been several members of the houses that have arrived, and I'm sure Anna has noticed one or two. There seems to be some inquiries around town about various members of the party, yes. So
You can say my name.
they have, as a matter of fact, yes, they have been most intrigued by this Reverend individual's rabble rouser, as you are commonly known as.
I have to say, Vaughn, I agree with you. I'm tired of hiding.
Likewise.
I haven't exactly done a very good job of it, but I think King George and his people have... You saw how many people were signing up to join the cause, so to speak. I think it's time to start swaying people to our cause, because our cause is just. We have one thing that they don't.
And what is
We
that?
have two things, in fact. We got the true king on our side, but no offense to you, Vaughn, more importantly, we have the one God on our side.
What is that?
Reverend, you bring up a very good point. But unfortunately, Vaughn claiming to be who he says he is will be very difficult to prove unless you have some evidence.
Yes,
And
the records.
now-
You've mentioned these before.
Yes, and I do understand you have acquired entrance into the city, correct?
Yes, for better or for worse.
So, that means that you would have the means to gather the evidence that you need to stake your claim, to prove who you are. That may be a move that we need to make next. Beyond all that, I do believe that with the backing of certain families, Anna, your family, certainly carry some weight on that if we can prove who you are as well. So again, it seems to be the keys to the next step lie in that city.
We have some responsibilities that we've picked up recently with some new allies, friends, that we've made beneath the city. Looks down to Yipyip.
He looks over at Lord Erindale looks over at Yipyip as well, like, yeah, so new allies, yes. You found some more children?
Forgive me. My manners, I don't know where they went. The Lord Erindale. Might I introduce you to the newest member of our merry band, Yipyip. Yipyip,
Hi.
this is a safe
Lord.
place. You can reveal yourself to Wyatt here.
Well, I don't want the magic to wear off.
Oh, fair enough. But you can tell him yourself who you really are.
I'm a kobold. Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Wyatt's face doesn't change one single bit. He keeps a very composed look, looks over at the Reverend for a moment, looks over at Yipyip, steps forward, offers his hand out to Yipyip, and then gives a big bow and gives her a slight kiss on the hand and stands back up again. It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. A kobold, you do say? I don't know anything about kobolds, so, except from what I've heard in children's tales.
Yeah,
So,
they all
a
told
pleasure
me
to meet
that.
you. So you found there's a kobold there?
Oh no, my whole clan's there. Under the
Your
city.
whole clan. My goodness. How many is a clan?
2,000?
That's quite a few kobolds.
Just a few.
Well done, everyone.
Well,
Okay,
yes.
yes.
Well done, yes, but they need sustenance. They're running out of supplies, which is why we've come back to town. That's a lot of mouths to feed, and we're doing our best.
Yeah, scavenging in the city doesn't have as much as it used to.
So you're familiar with the surface of the city?
I've
That'd be
mapped.
most handy
And she
for you.
immediately reaches back into her backpack to pull and hand them out. One of the sewers and one of the city above.
Erindale takes the map and you see he's looking at it and his eyes are quite large at this point. There's no masking how he hands them back to you. You need to make sure those don't get into anyone's hands here in Newtown. Especially given that the Concordance is looking to make moves on Granitegard, that would be quite beneficial for their actions there. As a matter of fact, I would
I don't
definitely
know
make
how dangerous
haste on
some of the
getting those out
spots
of
are that
town.
I wrote down.
I'm sorry, what was that?
They don't know how dangerous some of the spots are.
That is most likely true, yes. I'm terrified to ask what might be lurking inside the city. In fact, it may be better that I don't know.
It probably would be.
Is there something that I may do to aid you? And he looks over at Vaughn and Reverend and also at Yipyip as well, kind of try to feel this out.
Well, I think the best thing to do will be to try to begin arrangements for a meeting with King George. But as I said before, we have not been completely unsuccessful in drawing allies to our side. As we just saw, got about 2,000 kobolds on our team now. But we also have the remnants of the former Thieves Guild. People who have been pressed into service with the Way. We liberated them, so to speak, from Captain Theod.
Right.
It works for us now.
We've taken on most of the families from Newtown into the old garrison tower.
That would match some information that I've been hearing recently, yes.
I'd say, in addition to lining up the meeting with King George, we've set up a few drops, not terribly far from your farm outside your estate. It would be helpful if we could have some additional eyes along the road. The quantities that we have to acquire will take several days and multiple trips, and we're worried that our individuals may not be safe collecting the items themselves. So if we could have whatever support you can offer to ensure that the supplies are dropped successfully and make it back to the garrison tower, that would be greatly appreciated.
I will certainly do what I can for you on that. I do believe that I have the contacts to at least forewarn your people. Which direction would they be approaching from? I'm assuming the old Granitegard road, since they'd be coming from the garrison?
Accurate.
Very well. I will make arrangements.
Thank you.
What about
Definitely. If there's something else I can do, I will definitely look into that, but I will certainly see about making the arrangements with King George. As for now, I might recommend that you wrap up any tasks that you have here and make your way out of the city as fast as possible. Again, if they are to get a hold of those maps that your young friend here is carrying, that could be most detrimental.
It's a good point.
There's wisdom to your words, but it feels wrong to continually be turning my back on the people that I came to assist, but I won't argue with you this time, Lord Erindale.
I appreciate that. Believe me, we would not want anything to happen that would put George in a more positive position, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valor.
If the people are taken care of and George is truly supporting them, then I see no difference, as long as they're taken care of.
Beyond all that, if you are able to prove who you are, there really won't be much claim that he would have. Because from the way it was explained to me, the succession had already been laid out. And his time had come and gone. The only way he would be able to have a legitimate claim should be if there was no further bloodline available.
Yes. Well, I don't believe it was too far off before my father was to ascend to the throne. I don't believe I need to remind you of the instance.
Yes, sir.
You said you needed to get something from the city for that?
Yes, Yipyip.
And she holds up the map again. Can you show me where?
Kind of pulls open the map to where Yipyip has. I'm assuming there's a table or something here in this space easier for us to utilize. And then based on the information we got from our conversation with Rose and Lord Erindale previously about where we believe this is to be housed, starts to point out some of the areas to Yipyip.
Lord Erindale assists you on that, and he asks if you have anything to mark the map, and he can help out with that as well.
She hands out like a little piece of colored something to mark on the map with.
Yes, okay, well then. And he marks where Anna's house is located on there. He also marks the cathedral. He marks the courthouse on that as well, and the records place. So that would be the locations I do believe that you would need for that.
Pull this up.
Anna's house.
Yes.
Anna, how do you feel about going back home?
Oh, it's maybe not the circumstances that I would have wished for, but I don't really see that we have a way around it. And I am hoping to get some questions answered there.
I really hope it's at your house then, because the other two places aren't really the safest.
Well, I guess we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
There should be quite a bit of useful information in that house as well. I do believe that your father had a office there that where he kept his notes and that sort of thing. So you should find some good research as that goes. It would be very beneficial if I could take a look at it as well. You return from that.
Of course, we'll make what we find available to you. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to take up more of your time here, but I can't help but be curious. Was there a response from Lucian, from the Watchers of the North and the Rangers of Angern?
Currently, sir, I have not heard anything back yet. That does not mean that the information has to reach them and that the return is coming, but unfortunately, at the moment, no. It might be that they are biding their time as far as that goes, considering the patrols that are going on outside of the Newtown's walls. So, as soon as I hear anything, I will let you know.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And likewise, you haven't heard anything about my brother and sisters from your network?
As a matter of fact, we have located the house to which they were sold, and we are currently working on getting information on them.
Oh, they're all together?
Two of them are in one home.
Oh.
And they appear to be servants currently, but we are working on getting that more in-depth information. The data was passed back as soon as they were pinned down, but unfortunately the exact details we don't know just yet.
Okay, that's wonderful news. Thank you.
It is House Hastings, and they were recently acquired from another home.
Oh,
So
that's
something
less,
leads
that's
me to
less good.
believe that there might be something afoot with that.
Oh dear. Oh, well, do you believe that they were acquired after their connection to me was discovered?
I would assume, given that you were set up, that this may have something to do with that. You were not killed in the arena as they had planned, so I would assume that they need to lay other plans.
Excellent. Well, that's good to know. I'm glad that they're alive. I hate that they're there.
Again, they are alive, so that is a step in the right direction.
Still hope, Anna. And if we know where they are at, we'll be able to help you get them.
Yeah, and if they need them for something, then the odds of them staying alive for at least a little longer are good. That's good.
That's true. They would certainly have some value at that point.
What do you mean arena? What
I wouldn't put too much stock into the House Hastings, full of exaggeration and yeah.
Can I insight her to see if she's scared or
You
what
may
is the primary
absolutely
emotion?
Okay.
Can I history what I know of House Hastings and see if that arena pit fights is normal?
Go ahead. Both of you are more than welcome. I believe Vaughn, for you would be history.
Will, was that inspiration for the dad joke a real inspiration?
Yes, it was. Earlier, Echo had cracked the best dad joke I've heard all day, and he got himself a D4.
I got a 24 on history.
24 on history, as a matter of fact. One of the business ventures that breaks them a lot of money, aside from their investment in the gold distribution and processing, is the arenas. As a matter of fact, it's quite a blood sport that they enjoy there up north. It's how they punish those individuals that break the law and individuals that might be considered dangerous to the Concordance. Bloodsport is very, very popular up there.
I got a 16 for insight.
16 for insight. Anna, did you roll your deception on that?
I got a 27.
Yep.
Nice.
Anna is definitely telling you the truth there, Echo.
She
My
must
girl.
just be an entertainer, just like me and
Yeah.
Damon.
Yeah.
Most possibly she's a
My
clown.
st- I juggle also.
I with you entertainers.
We're a whole group of
I recently
entertainers.
started, so.
We should start a
What was that,
band.
Reverend?
Yeah.
I said we're a whole group of entertainers, it would appear.
Use it's a relative term, but yes.
Well, there's much entertainment here. I would certainly agree with that. See, Lord Erindale's eyeball on Anna is there anything more I can do for you this evening? Actually, this afternoon. Yeah, unfortunately, my time would be rather spent here if I had my druthers, but if I am not back on my property shortly, I'm sure I will be noticed.
I guess there's one other person that I would be, if it's not too much trouble, there's one other person that I would really appreciate you looking out for.
Name it.
She's probably dead. Ellie? But she would also be with House Hastings.
Ellie.
Yes.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Okay, just if in your search, just if you come across any word of her, I would be most appreciative.
I would try to locate an Ellie that was in connection with you. If you have any other information that would be very beneficial for me to try to pin that down.
She would have been probably injured or sick and maybe relocated to a different part of the house. Yes, yeah.
Does Ellie have a last name? Someone we could
Yes, that would
reach out
No.
to for more information?
Not that I know of.
All right. Well, I will definitely endeavor to do my best on that. As whatever you wish, you let me know.
All right. Thank you so much, Wyatt. Yes. And thank you for all that you've done. Like I never thought that I would find my siblings. So.
I was glad I could give you some good news with that.
Yeah.
And at this point, he steps close into Anna and takes both of her hands and he says, as he looks, he's like, please be careful in that city. It would harm me grievously if anything was to happen to you while you were there. I've lost you before, and it's nice to have you back.
Well, it's we'll do our best. And don't worry, Wyatt. I'm a weapon, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Definitely, any respect.
Yeah.
Gives you a big hug there, Reverend. You take care of them while they're in there. I trust you on that.
Remains to be seen whether I'm taking care of them or whether they're taking care of me, Wyatt, but we'll do our best, like Anna said.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you, young Yipyip. The pair of legs and shoes that are poking out from underneath your bed there, Skeet, you take care, and hopefully we'll see you at a different time when you're more friendly. And I give Sky a pat in the head, and you too, dog. You've gotten much larger since the last time I've seen you. What are you feeding this thing?
What we can find.
Spider milk.
Spider milk.
That is-
my
That is
goodness.
true.
Okay. My lord, and he gives you a very deep bow there, Vaughn. Nice. Sir John grabs the cloak and flips it back around, and when he does it, it drapes over his shoulders in a fluid motion as the cloth is draping across him. You can see his whole body hunch over, and he grabs the cane and steps out, and he looks like the old guy again.
That is amazing.
Take care, my friends. And steps to the door, opens it, and you can see him kind of shaking as he's walking out. The door closes behind him.
He's magic.
Should we help him down the stairs? I feel like
Don't want to blow his cover.
Yeah.
He's got it. Couple things I feel like we should start talking about. I feel like we're at a breaking point with secrets and strategies.
There's no secrets left here. But
and he's kind of looking at Anna, but it seems like he's collecting his thoughts, and he moves to something a little easier, and he turns to Vaughn first.
Yes, I'm ready.
So there's this idea floating around that George could be an ally.
Yes.
I agree that this is something to consider, but at the same time, if he's being controlled by these other people, and he himself believes himself to be good, he could see you, even if he thinks you're a good person, he doesn't really know you. So why would he logically agree to give up his spot when he thinks he's making good change? Wouldn't he kill you even if you revealed yourself?
I don't know, Echo, and I can't know that necessarily. I think what's important for us to do is at least open the lines of conversation, communicate with George, and try to get an understanding of what's going on.
I hate to interrupt really quickly. Joe turned their camera off, so it probably messed up all of our cameras.
It did. Hold on.
Excuse us while we have a technical issue here.
Whose camera was that?
The Reverend has camera shut off, and hey, here he is.
All right. Sorry.
Fantastic. The convenience of modern technology.
Yeah, it turned our screen into garbage for a minute there.
Sorry about that, everybody. Again, the joys of technology here.
Everybody
Anyway. So like I was saying, Echo, I don't think necessarily that there's no way to know this. I'm also not I'm not trying to steal something from George. If he truly believes what he is doing is from the right place and from the goodness of his heart, I want to hear him out on that. He's done more for these people than I have in the past 12 years. And I'm not believing that just because I have a name or I have certain blood, that I deserve something that he's actually putting in the work for. I want to hear it from him, though.
I agree with you. I just don't see this as a situation of individuals. It's never the figurehead that's making the decisions, from what I've read, though, of course, the more politically versed here might have more to say about this, but I would just be careful about George taking up too much of the focus when it's really people standing behind him we should be looking at.
I agree with you, Echo. I think it's a very astute observation, to be honest. But, like I'm saying, I think regardless of how George responds to our conversation, it will be very telling. If he shares that there is some manipulation afoot behind, well, we know. If we get the sense that there are strings off-screen, if you will, well, we'll be able to learn things by what he's not saying as well.
Can I also bring up something that maybe is, as far as I'm concerned, a little bit of an elephant in the room when involving Vaughn? Don't you have like a curse that's like seems to slowly be killing you? If you're going to lead people, we should probably figure out how to fix that, right? Are you okay?
I'm sorry, what are you referring to?
Well, every time you use your dark magic, it just really looks like you're not okay.
It takes a toll on me, but it's the price that I pay.
So it's not, how to what extent is this toll?
It's not pleasant, if that's what you're asking. It's painful. It causes me pain, but it's been my experience that individuals that are hoping to help individuals have to sacrifice something, so I don't see much of a difference.
I just want to make sure you're not, I don't know, slowly decaying, like if there's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of medical help we should be getting you to ensure your longevity.
Are you suggesting immortality?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I just am concerned every time I see him use it. It doesn't look good, and I don't know what long-term effects this sort of magic has.
I assure you, the human life is very short, and we will all soon be decaying and dying. So while you won't have to worry about that, and Yipyip won't have to, it's normal.
Thank you for that, Echo.
You're welcome.
It's very true.
That was very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Your care is noted, and I appreciate the concern that you're sharing. I can't help but feel as though that basic medical care may have to wait until after we've solved some of the larger issues before us. Maybe then we can establish a more concrete system of healthcare for Granitegard and go from there.
Vaughn's chosen his path, and he's sought the power to do what he needs to. It's a decision that all of us have to make. Do we have the will to do what we need to do?
Echo, in the spirit of sharing secrets and Mary, in aligning with your concern, the individual who taught me how to do this, he explained that it would most likely abbreviate my lifespan. I can't speak with any certainty as to what that looks like. I'm not trying to keep secrets from you all, it's just something unknowable to me. But I also know that I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because it helps me protect you all, just like you've protected me.
Just would like to keep a lookout maybe for something that could help you with the long-term effects in the future.
Well, if you find something, I'm more than eager to learn about it.
And Anna, I do think it is important to know more about this House Hastings, if they're going to be another one of our foes added to the list, and what they did to you and your family.
They're not great, you know. They buy up debts and indenture, and then when inevitably you pay, they seize property or person to make good on the debt. And that's you know.
Person?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
How does that work? Where do they get them? Do they?
Just if for families that can't pay, that's all. They'll just
they take them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, they will. Yes.
People do
to be
this?
servants or yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Was it different on the mountains?
He's looking around, like face checking everybody else to see if they're shocked or if this is like normal.
It's a disgust on Vaughn's face. It's not how we do things.
That's enough.
Poor Yipyip's
And he goes,
just so confused looking.
in the mountains, we rely on each other. We don't try and buy each other.
That does seem to be a much better way to do things. Yes.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Evidently not, because they're all dead. But otherwise, yes.
Yes, and House Hastings does have quite a lot of political and monetary gain. So I don't. Yeah. So.
I don't know how to function in this society, so maybe that is the way to do it. It just seems very inhumane.
It's not.
Yes.
Good. I was afraid we were going to have to start doing that.
No.
That would cross the line.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Anna. Echo. House Hastings will get what is coming to them. The wrath of the one God will fall down upon them, and their whole house will be torn asunder. I believe it.
I cannot wait for the day.
I can't
First time
help
Damon's
but
face has changed this whole time.
I can't help but acknowledge that as we sit here coming up with our plans to once again head directly into danger as we venture into the city. Damon, I have felt your silence more powerfully than usual. What do you have on your mind?
I think we're very stupid, but that's just my opinion. It's fine. I do think that the Concordance is working with the Way. That is why that carnival is there. They are all from the south. And they are protected from the Way down south. So we have more enemies now than just George, if he is one, the Concordance, Granitegard, and now all of the Way, not just up here.
On the bright side, if we push on one of those dominoes, perhaps the rest will tumble afterwards. Thank you, Mary.
We might need some better disguises.
Well, I'm good.
Which domino or which string do we pull first then, Reverend?
Well, I think the first things first, we got to continue to help our newest allies, the kobolds.
Agreed.
Continue to acquire the supplies that they need, so that perhaps we may be able to call upon their help in the future. Don't ask me what I want to do first, because I told you I want to cut a path through the Way.
It would be advantageous to talk to King George next, after we help the kobolds, because I think that could potentially be an ally, or maybe it would clear things up as to where to go next.
I fear, based on Wyatt's response, that we may be relying on time for that, so we should wait until Wyatt reaches out to us to let us know they've arranged a safe meeting. May be hard to plan for that. It could be tomorrow, it could be 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, that's fair.
After we deal with the kobolds, I really think it is time we take the leap and head into the city. I know there's a lot of politics and a lot of crossover between our lives, but for many of us, this city is the goal, and I'm afraid I can't take too much longer skirting around it. I have to know what's in there.
I think that this has to do with what happened on the mountain, Echo.
I think the more I learn, and the more I learn about all of you especially, I haven't reached any conclusion, but that feeling in my stomach says yes. There's some connection, I just haven't found the center point yet.
Well,
Believe it or not, I agree with you, Echo. I do think our path lies in the city. While I do desperately want to throw myself at the Way, perhaps recklessly, I think inside the city we might find more powerful artifacts and magics, which could increase our power, aid our campaign against all of our adversaries, and may we strike them down with our righteousness when we find them.
Maybe we'll find more allies there too. Who knows?
Perhaps make friends with some of them monsters in there.
I don't know about that.
Well, we found you guys.
Damn.
The others aren't really that great at all.
I don't know, I could be pretty persuasive.
we've seen that in full effect, Reverend. Full effect.
Fair, but most of the other creatures aren't good They're a lot more violent.
Well, if we could get them on our side, we could use that violence to our advantage.
I'm just rational.
Trying to be positive over here.
Maybe the Reverend could create more splinter cell religions for every group we run into and unleash them upon each other.
Statistically speaking, there's a 100% success rate so far, Reverend.
I've had worse plans.
We're pretty good with the
we need to be in the
theatrics.
city. Accidentally hit the keyboard.
So where do we need to go? Do we have all the supplies we need for the kobolds? Are there other things that we need to get?
We have everything requisitioned appropriately. It's to be dropped off over the next several days at a few drop points outside of the city. To be honest, I say we take Lord Erindale's advice and make it back to the tower. Explain to everyone else that we need their assistance in gathering the supplies, and we go back and report to the Alpha Mother and continue doing what it is we agreed to do originally. I believe we still have one side left to deal with.
And to get to the Leapers, it would probably be better to travel above ground.
Alright.
Good.
How much of this? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, before we leave, I just think we should check the room that, Yes, that the gentleman downstairs was asking about. Or he wasn't asking about the room, but he was asking about the artifacts that may have been left in the room, so...
Let's check that out first. I think for a lot of us, that's very important.
Would love to go snooping.
We're very good at it.
Shall we?
Yep.
We shall.
Yeah.
You're all heading down to your original room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, is it going out Scooby-Doo style here, I'm assuming?
Yes.
We're splitting from one side of the hallway to the other side.
Does that mean Sky is Scooby?
That absolutely means
pretty much yes.
And that means, and that makes you Shaggy.
Yes. Shaggy is a ranger.
All right, that's canon now. All right, so who is up front in the group here?
I actually think the door's locked. Maybe Damon, you could lead this one.
I want to be right there by Damon. I'm ready to snoop.
Well,
I'll be up front.
then I put my hand on Vaughn's shoulder and I say, Vaughn, go with the blessing of the one God.
It feels more powerful this time, Reverend. I can feel it.
And, your advantage on stealth checks.
All right, so out into the hallway you all go. And down from the third story all the way down to the second story, and the other arm of the Red Valerian, you head to the original room where you were going. And as you approach, you can hear the argument in place, and Zilda's voice is relatively loud, and she's yelling, "You gadwalling fly! This room is not for you to go into. There's nothing in there, and I've told you to leave." And you hear this nasty little sniveling kind of voice that's, now, bite your tongue. I have every right to look into that room. We are on church business here. Now, unless you, and at this point she cuts him off, you can hear her yelling again, just pure frustration, and she's not even with the church. There's no way the one God would bless what you're doing. And at this point, he reaches out and places his hand on his shoulder as you all come down the hallway and see it, and he says, that kind of talk could easily be confused for heresy there. And you know what they do with heretics, don't you? And as you turn, you can see the envoy the envoy from the church is talking. The one that Anna had steered earlier is speaking with Zilda. And they hear you all kind of approach in their direction. They look back, and the envoy kind of straightens himself up, pulls his hand back from Zilda, looking to just kind of distinguish himself.
You're being mean.
And you're being rude, child. This is none of your business. I suggest you all carry on. And the eyeball's on it at this point. Then he
This is
stops
the
and looks
individual you
past-
spoke about earlier that was causing a problem.
Looking past
and
all
I
of you.
thought we had come to an understanding. I thought he
I
had understand. I believe.
Yes, you may stop talking now. Mary? Mary Chrysler? What are you doing here, Initiate? Last I heard, you were up at the Citadel in that stuffy little library. Did they send you down here in some task? It's amazing to see you here.
I wish I could say the same.
He steps forward, his arms spread wide, a big smile on his face. He's like, oh, it's been quite a long time since we've seen each other. It's nice to see a familiar face here.
I was just thinking it hasn't been enough time.
Well, that's a little bit rude, don't you think? I mean, it's been quite a bit of time since school. I mean, how have things been treating you? As you can see, I am now working for the head inquisitor. How have things been going with your journey within the church?
Just fine.
Oh yes,
And
yes,
you
library
just
duty, I
seem
understand.
as rude as usual.
Whoa. That hurts me so that you would say such a thing. But
Still being on your
Big meanie.
A big meanie. I'm sorry, is this petulant little creature belong to any of you?
Yes.
Creature?
Then you should muzzle
This
it.
is a child, sir. A child.
Then teach it manners. And
He doesn't know how to pick on people his own size.
I think the one who needs to learn manners is you, my friend.
Oh, would you be teaching me manners then?
How many people are with this dude?
He appears to be on his own.
Can we press the Damon button right now? Kill him.
I walk over to him, and I
I'm with you.
my hands in front of his face, and I cast Swindle on him.
Ooh.
And what is the saving throw for that, sir?
That is a Wisdom save.
Would a 19 suffice?
Oh, it would.
That's not good.
Oh, was there something wrong with your hand there? Gotta check.
Gonna be
That would be
something
23.
wrong with my hand, real quick. It's gonna connect with your
Oh,
face.
I do believe so. Was that
Yep.
a magic spell you were looking to invoke there, sir?
Whoa, you can't say that.
You can't say that.
Oh, that certainly had the connotations of one.
Sir, the only kind
Zilda,
of...
I believe that I will come back to speak with you later. I'm going to go head out at this point in time. I do believe that I am late for my appointment with King George. It had been a pleasure meeting you all. I'm sure we'll see you soon. He gives you a short little bow and begins
Very
backing his
quickly.
way over towards the stairs.
Very
Quick-
quickly,
yes, Sam, I
as
got
he was
something too.
backing
Go
his
ahead.
way, I was gonna say Yipyip had ducked behind him, so he tripped over her.
Oh, you're looking to do a trip? Okay, let's go ahead and...
You just tabled this guy?
And then we just beat him.
Let's bully
That's
him,
a 16.
classic.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
look around at everyone with that look of like, give me the order, I'll kill this guy. Just I'm waiting.
Can I give the order?
Hey, what do you want me to do? You want to kill this guy?
My specialty.
From around.
The way you're looking at me.
So, what was your roll to trip him? I had a 16.
Oh, what do I roll?
That would probably be in this case. I'll give you acrobatics on that.
Okay, good.
Is the woman that he was originally speaking to still here?
Zilda is the proprietor of the Red Valerian, yes.
Yeah, is she still like next to us?
Oh, she's standing blocking the doorway to your room. Well, to your former
I'm
room.
going to command him, and I'm going to say apologize.
All right, so let's go ahead and take care of that. What was your roll there?
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20. All right, so Yipyip stands behind him and he trips and falls over on his rump. Looks very indignant about it. At this point in time, Mary, you invoke command.
I'm sorry?
You said, Mary,
What'd
you
you say?
invoke command to apologize?
Oh, yes, I do.
All right. What is my save on that, please? What do I need to beat? Would a 14 beat your roll?
I
know, but
got a
beat the,
14. I got a 14. So how does that, if we got the same?
I believe the command is just a straight.
I think your DC is
It's
15.
your DC with your spell check, DC with your spell casting, correct? Which is a 15.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yes. No, wait. Yes.
Commands.
Right,
Okay.
so
he
it does pass.
begins apologizing as he falls over Yipyip and stands up and is like, Ed, I'm sorry, I apologize. That's my fault, my fault. And now gets to the edge of the stairs and begins making his way down the stairs. And
Yip Yip still not calling as he goes down the stairs.
And you can hear him trounce all the way down to the stairs.
Are we sure we don't want to reset the murder count? Are we positive?
I mean, he's gonna go cause trouble for us, regardless of if he knows who we are, and he does because he recognized Mary.
Should we tie him up in the room?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He wants to get in there anyway. Why don't we just invite him in?
I'm
We have a
afraid
good
that
box.
if well, that is true.
To go catch
And
him,
we-
man.
I'm afraid that if he doesn't go back, though, more individuals come looking.
Oh,
But are we gone by then?
But is Zilda
Mary
and looks over.
Zilda's looking at you all. She's like, why don't we go into the room very quickly, discussing murdering an envoy from the
Kidnapping?
head inquisitor in the middle of my establishment is probably not the greatest idea.
oh sorry.
fair.
It's
We
just
should-
a
we should
hilarious
leave it to
joke.
her.
She opens the door and it's like,
Yeah,
trying to
speaking to
usher
you
all
wasn't a
into the
good
room.
idea.
Oh, blimey, they're going to get me killed.
He was a
He did-
jerk.
He brought that upon himself. There's no doubt about that.
I don't doubt that in the slightest. He is quite a bit of a troll dung swallower, but yes, maybe you could murder him somewhere in the streets. Yes, not inside my
It's what he would
inn?
deserve.
That's a perfect. I mean, the cleaning
That's a
alone.
suggestion.
This is becoming much more real. I thought this was more of like a hypothetical philosophical conversation just a moment ago. You know,
I thought you would
Words.
intend on killing him. I don't know, but either way, just don't do it in my inn. I would really not like to be burned for heresy and my life's work taken away and my children thrown into prison. And yes, that would be. Please don't do that.
We're not gonna kill him. We might give him a wedgie or something.
hold on.
Me.
Okay, but
I look over to the Reverend, and I'm very alarmed. Reverend, I'm very worried that the wrong person saw you do something. Something you're you know what I'm trying to say, Reverend.
Yeah, I know, but remember, I don't use magic. I only am a proprietor of potions and trinkets.
And you like
His word against mine.
you like watch like Vaughn's right eye just twitch as you're saying this. Right, yes, of course, and that is what you have told us. Maybe it's less important what you actually did, and more important what he believes you did.
Vaughn, I appreciate your concern. I've been running from men like him my whole life, and I know what they do to people like
Other people.
people that can use arcane arts.
Yes.
As I said earlier this evening, I'm tired of running.
Why do people hate magic so much anyways?
It's a good question, Yipyip.
Because magic seems cool.
People hate
I
things
do
they
think
don't
that has something to
understand.
do with what the elves did to the humans. It can. Don't take it the wrong way. You know very much how I feel about you all, but is there any possible way that we could resolve whatever you need and have you not be here when he returns with whatever friends he's going to be bringing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so
Yes,
sorry,
absolutely.
Zilda. We meant to ease your problems, not increase them. I'm so sorry for.
I don't doubt that in a bit, and I love you very much, dearie. But I don't think we've got time for biscuits and gravy right now. Let's go ahead
That's
and what can we do to get you to sally forth?
We need to search the room quickly.
Mhm.
What are you looking for?
We'll be in and out.
Okay.
We don't know.
Notes, records, some type of journal, anything they would have left behind for someone to find. That's what we're looking for.
We believe the three that stayed here are related to us in the party.
Related how?
Was probably my father. But
Oh, okay.
Your father. And you can see that her expression change at this point in time. Well, that is... He expressed to us, well, actually myself and Tom, but he would be leaving notes for someone to follow behind, particularly a daughter. So,
Interesting.
did you have an arrangement with him?
No, but that's hardly
That
shocking.
is very
Did he
odd.
happen to leave any clue or cipher or...
He said that you would know how to set the clock.
Fantastic. Great.
I'm assuming that has something to do with whatever he left you?
Perhaps. Have I seen Mary? Perhaps this wasn't a clue for me.
No. There was a paladin. There was a skinny gentleman, and there was a very desperate-looking gentleman that said that he was leaving something behind.
The desperate
and
looking
that-
gentleman. Yes, no, that tracks.
That's what I kind of assumed based on some of the hair
Careful.
and some
Careful,
facial features
Zilda.
that looks, what's that?
Nothing.
No, the color of the hair and the
Yeah, desperation is in this season, Vaughn. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's very chic. Very, yeah.
Oh, no.
But
The
what-
gentleman himself
He
was
swoops
desperate
his
for
hair.
I mean, my goodness gracious. So yes, you would know how to set the clock. Apparently there's a clock.
I'll think on
So-
that. Yeah.
If there's a clock, I'll find it.
But there's no clocks here. We don't have that kind of money to throw around. I mean that's a bit pricey for our blood. So unfortunately. So the only thing that you could think of, Anna, would be
interesting.
the large
Yeah.
grandfather clock in your house.
Okay, great. Good. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think the clock was here. I think it's hopefully still intact in Granitegard. Did any of them else? Did anyone else leave
Something?
messages?
Not that I am aware. No, that's the only one. The other two are very much kept to themselves.
Echo, these markings and notes that you've been following, do you think it's possible there's some hidden in the room? It's worth looking, just to be safe.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look.
Well, I am
Is
going to
the
head
room open?
downstairs. Please don't break too much. And hopefully you won't hear me
Excuse me?
scream, "Oh my goodness, the guards are coming." Have a good day.
Excuse me?
And she ushers. Yes.
And she like quickly waddles up and like holds her hands out to her.
Yes, dear.
Sorry for the trouble. And she's hoping she would like hold her hands out to take whatever she's holding.
She puts her hands on top of yours and like kind of clasps them. It's like, "Oh, it's okay, dear. Thank you so very much." And then steps
And then
to
she
leave
like
the
moves
room.
her hands and there's a coin in her hands now.
Looks down at the coin, looks up at you. What type of coin is it?
I didn't think that far.
There's me
What type
at
of coin
every
it is may
store
certainly
I've ever
affect the
been
outcome
to.
of that.
Well, Vaughn, really
How
quickly,
coins work.
you
Yes,
you
well-
said that it would be bad to give out platinum, right?
Well, I said it would be bad to give platinum to individuals who are oftentimes looking to get more money out of you, because if they know you have it, they'll find reasons to help you part with it.
Yeah, okay, she gave her a platinum because it was the shiniest one.
As she looks at the platinum coin and looks over at you, steps over to Vaughn and places it in your hand. I don't think a child should be hanging on to something like this. And then
She tries putting it in my hand, and I seal her hand back on the platinum coin, and I say, if Yipyip wanted to give this to you, I'm sure they have very good reason to. Use it to help the people around here.
Hang on to it for when her parents and such return for her.
Zilda, you do not understand. This means nothing to them.
That child is so rich. So rich.
The many years of seeing all kinds of crazy things go on and dealing with the public, veneer just melts off her face for just a fraction of a second. She looks with Yipyip. You can see all the questions going on in her head. And she just takes the coin.
And Yipyip's just standing there with the brightest smile.
Okay, I'm gonna head downstairs.
Sorry for the trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble. He closes the door and you can hear her in the hallway as she's stepping away.
You did a very good thing, Yipyip.
And so, what are we doing here inside the room? It's just you all.
I'm looking for symbols and clues.
Investigation.
If you tell me what you're looking for, Echo, I'll help you.
Let's go ahead and you can roll with advantage. Who's going to be doing the investigation?
Well, I just rolled a nat 20.
I think that answers the question.
As you search through the room,
Elvish messages.
there are absolutely no messages whatsoever left in this room. I mean, nothing at all left in this room. You turn everything over, you look every nook and possible cranny, there is nothing at all in this room. You actually feel more than confident that there's nothing.
Cool.
Then we should leave.
We should leave.
Where are we going now?
But what was the symbol of your father as a paladin? What was the symbol?
Yeah, I guess.
Like the
Mary,
family crest?
Yeah, the family crest, Mary?
DM, you wanna help me out?
The family crest is a series of laurel branches with a large sword kind of sticking down between them.
So
Sorry, what kind of branches?
Laurel branches.
Laurel.
Thank you.
Okay, I was just remembering the shield in the tavern and wondering if either of them could have left that. Yeah.
I know we're trying to get out of here as soon as we possibly can, but do you think we should take this opportunity while we're in the space to leave that kind gentleman a message, possibly pointing him in the wrong direction?
Yeah, it's not
That's wonderful turning there.
And he pulls out his book and he pulls out his quill of infinite ink and he says, "What would you like it to say?" as I cast illusory script.
Ooh.
Well, we've heard so many good things about going through the main gates of the city. Maybe we could direct him that direction.
I can tell them to go to one of the bad areas.
Noted. He's working through this process of making it seem like they're talking about their plans leading up to this day, and then, okay, we've scouted out all these possible locations. This seems to be the best course of action, moving here, leaving this note so the people in the know are aware.
You gotta
anything else?
You gotta put a little stuff on there to make it basically some gibberish that sounds real. So write something out, something like only the penitent man shall pass. So go ahead and write
only the penitent man shall pass. Anna, you said something about ciphers. What do you think I should include some type of puzzle lock system in here? What?
Oh, I think that's a marvelous idea. Yeah, maybe some sort of like gear work, or or perhaps just a simple offset like Caesar cipher. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
So, Yipyip, you had a question?
What's the most dangerous area she could list off in the city?
Well, you could either send them probably to the House of Healing, the Cathedral, Great Library.
The warehouse?
Warehouse is bad too, but those three are pretty bad. There's also where the Manicore's lair.
Big
The what? The what?
Manicores?
You never told
They
me about
escaped
that
from
one.
the zoo when the city fell and have taken over a section of the city and eat everything that goes over there.
You said we may need to go to the cathedral, as scary as it is. So maybe either the House of Wellness or the cathedral. Those two are really scary.
The cathedral
Noted.
will be particularly attracted to a religious man. I do have the question: what's the difference between doing this and stabbing that man between the ribs?
That would
He
be
has
a
a
lot
choice.
nicer.
A lot less direct.
This
And
gives him
also-
a choice to choose something else.
And maybe he'll take a lot of his friends too, so it's more effective, more efficient. Will be
Oh, I know. Send them to the wellness house, the House of
Well,
Wellness.
I'll make note of it. We're not again. And he looks. He's with your question, Reverend. We're not sending them anywhere. We're leaving options for them to nibble on. Is there anything else? Anything else? Anyone? Okay. And then with the final stroke of his quill, the illusory script goes over this, and it reads top 10 uses for spider milk, and it looks to be a series of recipes. If we can't simply leave this on pen and paper, that would be too obvious. These people would have left some type of special script. I feel like this sells it a little bit more. He rolls it up, he hands it to Damon. Damon, where would you hide it in this room?
I'm gonna look around the room. Are there any light fixtures on the wall?
There are a series of brass hangs where the oh goodness, if it was called where the candle would sit, but that was nice. It's like the candelabra arms. Yeah,
Gaunts.
candelabra arms that come out from that. Yes, but they are attached to the wall itself, and they are very fancy looking.
If I was to remove one of those, off the wall and make a hole behind it, could I stick it in there?
Go ahead and give me. Oh my goodness, on that, I would say sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. Let's go ahead and give me a sleight of hand. Why not?
Oh boy. Eight.
Hey, as Damon is using one of his daggers to kind of pry the thing off, it comes off the wall, and you're like, oh. The little brass screw that hangs on there, one of them is broken now.
That's fine. Can I make a hole?
Is
there a hole back there?
If you look at the brass piece where it would mount to the wall, there is a concave area that you can shove the note into.
Gonna stick it in there and put it back on the wall.
There we go.
I mean,
Yes.
don't feel bad, Damon. They can build a whole new edition with that platinum.
They've been holding out. They didn't give us the best room.
It's true.
So now we're wrecking it. All right, Damon, give me another sleight of hand, real quick, please.
13.
13. All right. Well enough. You hang it back up there, and as long as nobody touches it, it won't fall off the wall.
Well, we want it to be discovered, so.
We do.
I'm looking at the like the crumbling kind of drywall that's coming off of this and everything, and I look at that and say, "It's all right, Damien. As I traveled from town to town, plying my trade, this wouldn't be the first hotel room I wrecked."
Hold on.
Low bar.
All right.
Good to know.
Well, with that, we're going to take a short break, and
I
we'll
was
be
gonna
back
say
here.
real quickly,
Oh,
I could cast mending just to make sure it's not gonna or some sort of prestidigitation so it doesn't look.
Well, while Yipyip
hang
works
on.
on fixing the room, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We'll see you all here shortly. And yes, thank you for that short little intermission right there. We had a nice little recharge, and we're ready to kick back into gear here.
A literal recharge.
A literal recharge for some of our equipment, as a matter of fact. So, as we left off, you all had hidden the note inside the room there. Yipyip was performing some home repair. And where are we going right now? What are you all doing?
I think that looks perfect.
We're getting out of here.
Back to the tower?
Before we cause any more trouble for Zilda or the rest of the folks here, I say we head back.
Yeah, I think we've probably done enough here.
We could also probably tell her they can let them in if she really wants to, because they're not going to find anything except the note we left.
What note are you talking about, Yipyip?
But now the worry is that
Links.
now that the whole piece is back on there, nice and tight, they're going to destroy the room, and we might be billed for that because we hid something there.
Again, like I said, wouldn't be the first hotel room I've destroyed. Wow, once I was at a place that we took all the furniture in the room and we actually glued it to the ceiling.
Okay, well, to be fair, it looks like they might have done that anyways. They were already looking for stuff, right?
I did give her a coin, though.
Yep.
And if needed,
Yes,
I can give
you
her
did.
more.
I don't know if that's necessary, Yipyip.
Oh, man.
Was
Giving
that a
this
bad
note
thing
really
to do?
tickles.
Was that a
What
bad thing to do?
No, Yipyip, it was a very good, very kind thing to do. It will repair this room and most of the other rooms in this establishment if they so choose.
Right.
I really don't understand this money yet.
Well,
Most
put it this
people
way,
don't.
As much as you all like shiny things, humans are pretty fond of shiny things as well.
Didn't Zilda say the guards were here?
What?
Did I mishear that?
I said they were coming. We should be gone before that.
We should go out the window.
We should.
Not all of
This
us are
window
as depth
faces
of
the
climbers.
front of the building, which faces out into
Are we
the
able-
cul-de-sac, pointing basically right towards Echo's tree.
Yeah, I'm going
What
to the
about
window.
What about the back door, Echo?
I can't hear you as I'm like jumping out and already like rappelling down.
Back door works for me. Let's go.
All right, Echo, let's give it a climb, please.
I'm just gonna go down the stairs.
20, dirty 20 for my climb roll.
All right, so you make it down side of the building. Nothing terrible happens to you. As a matter of fact, it's quite a very graceful dismount, and pop up off the veranda there.
Can I also go out the
quite
window?
strangely. You also want to go out the front window as well?
Yeah, can I use the grappling crossbow and like attach it and like go down the window?
Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. What could possibly
Echo
go
looks up
wrong?
with admiration as you Batman down the window.
What do you want me to roll for that?
Go ahead and give me a acrobatics on that.
Worth it. Pretty 20.
All right. So as Echo lands in the nice superhero pose, and then stands up looking quite buff, you just descend down real nice and easy, Batman style, unhook the grappling bolt, and the two of you are quite prepared and ready for absolutely nothing out front.
I look.
They made it.
Yip running down the steps. Them going out the window, and I go.
Reverend, no.
I go out the window.
Oh,
And Sky jumps out the window too.
Climb down.
Go ahead and
Like
make a acrobatics check there, Reverend.
Okay, here we go. Would you believe that I rolled a 22?
Oh!
22.
You made the right
Gracefully,
choice.
Reverend makes it to the ground, and a moment later, Sky lands on the ground right next to all three of you. And the rest of the party is going down the stairs and out the back door?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
please.
now, the three of you plus Sky are out front. The other four of you, actually 5 of you, because Skeech has followed you out, are standing out back now.
Why did they go out the window?
We can't even begin to understand how Echo's mind works. Mysterious ways.
Coward! You hear from in the distance, and he's just gonna start sprinting.
Well, you heard the man.
So you're just running off through town now?
That's the call, Yipyip. Keep
Catch
up.
up with them.
As we sprint through the night through the alleys.
All right, you all
put Echo in charge.
cut across to the front gates.
Not looking guilty at all.
Oh, fantastic! Now, do you wait at the front gate for everybody else to catch up?
We're just Naruto running through town.
All right, so the 5 of you plus 4 of you plus Skeech go to the front gate, and you're waiting there while the Reverend, Damon, Echo, and Sky charge out down the lane onto the main roundabout, back up the lane that leads to the front gates, where the rest of you are waiting on them at this point, and the party is reunited.
Did you have fun?
At the front gate. So, as you
I didn't
all
jump out
are
the
having
window.
fun, the sky that has been increasingly darker at this point begins to rain. And the temperature now begins to drop even further than what it was. So it's gone down from about 42 degrees to probably about 36 degrees at this point. It is quite cold and miserable at this point for your return trip back to town. The closer you get to the ridge, the more the rain seems to intensify. And by the time you make it down the switchbacks, you're looking at that trudge across the fields there towards the garrison tower. You remember how nasty and terrible it was last time. So you can either go across that, or you can go skirt the edges of the shambles there.
Shambles?
If we believe it'll,
Yeah.
I mean, if we think going that original path will take 2 or 3 times as long, I say yes. The shambles.
Yeah, based on the first time you
Have we
all
gotten
made that
into a-
trek across all that mud, it was an arduous experience.
Have we gotten
I mean, it's
into
doable,
a fight
but-
every time we've gone through the shambles?
Do what?
Have we gotten into a fight every time we've gone through the shambles, though?
No, you went
That's a
through
coincidence.
with Sir Gendron without any sort of confrontation.
Okay, good.
Actually, you guys poked
Do
him,
that.
looked around all around it.
Okay. I'm good at the shambles then.
All right, so up and through the shambles. Again, it's a less miserable experience than trudging across the mud. However, it is still wet and nasty. Your breath comes out in large gouts as you're just walking. And up ahead, as you all come down one of the main drags, you hear a confrontation, and there's a cry for help where somebody is literally begging to the one god to save them. It's a man's
I know.
voice. He seems to be in quite desperation, and then you hear 2 large voices as well echoing your direction. Who speaks Stark speak?
I do.
Okay, so the 2 of you hear an argument going on back and forth between a female voice and a male voice. And the female voice is chiding the male about something, and the male voice seems very apologetic. And you hear Skeech kind of chuckle a little bit, Reverend, as he looks at you, and he's like, "Hey, you want to hear what they're saying?"
Yeah, Skeech, you did start to teach me Dark Speak.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop too.
Yeah, that. We probably ought to talk about that at some point soon.
Skeech just kind of like looks at you and stands next to Vaughn. All right, what are the rest of you doing at this point?
Oh,
Well,
speak dark
Hearing what
speak
they said.
also.
What's that?
Do we know what they said?
You can barely make out what they're saying. Just little clips again. You could hear that the female voice seems to be upset, and the male voice seems to be apologetic. You'd have to move closer to kind of see and hear what's going on.
I'll move a little closer.
Okay. So from where you guys are on the strip, looks like if you head down the main drag there, just to the left of the intersection where you see ahead, that was probably where the sounds are originating from.
I will
there appears to be a
pass
bunch of
with
debris in
very
the
little
street.
trace.
Passing with very little trace. All right.
And I'll stick
So I'll let you go ahead and roll the stealth roll as you all kind of creep up to see what's happening.
Yeah, I would like to be up with Echo and Mary as well.
Echo and Mary. All right. Echo, go ahead and give me that roll.
Would you believe it? I rolled a natural 1. So that will be an auto failure, or let's see what I got.
Oh no, clear.
That's a 16.
Wow, there you go.
16.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. How high you're still modified?
Because I cast pass with almost no trace.
Now, that gives you advantage on it? Or does that
No, it adds plus 10.
adds a plus 10? So that is
I had a
a
plus
failure on
14,
the
so
skill
it would
check.
be 15, sorry.
So James rolled the dice and the red came up. Okay, so
Thanks,
Echo
James.
passes the pass without any trace. And as you all creep up, you're hanging out next to a large pile of debris. It looks like part of this building has crumbled in front of you. And you can see a male ogre, probably 15, 16 feet in height. He has a massive backpack on with a wicker top, it looks like, large club, and he is kind of hunched over at this point, kind of looking relatively defeated. There is a female ogre carrying a large axe that is screaming and yelling at him, and she's holding up a dead man's body. He's in some pretty fancy looking armor. It looks like it has been partially crushed, and shaking it and yelling at the other ogre. There is another gentleman that is sitting there on his knees who looks to be quite battered and bruised, and he's literally at this point just praying. You can hear him beseeching the one God to save him. Go ahead. Actually, your passives, you recognize the armor and the symbols on these individuals, and it is the same ones that kicked Katja and Anna. Remember back when they were first asking for help, it was that party of individuals. And right now they look to be in quite a terrible situation with these ogres here. And the female's yelling, she's like, "They need to be alive. No, bring them dead." And the male's like, "Oh, well, this one alive here, we could bring back." She's like, "Oh, that's not going to be good enough. We need to bring lots back. You got pudding for brains." And he's like, "Oh, I like pudding." And at this point, Echo leans forward and knocks some rocks off from where the pile of debris are, and it kind of cascades down. The two of them stop and they look over at you, and the man looks over and he's like, "Oh, please help me."
I activate
let's
my
go ahead and
right.
bring up our battle map.
Right.
Where's Noah's mini?
If I see
Sorry.
that the Echo has kicked those rocks, then I'm going to quickly
This mini's not helping.
throw 3 cods on the ground
It
to cast
Check the blue
3
box.
cod
now.
money.
Sorry, we are missing a mini. Give us just a brief moment
Check
on
where?
that. It should be a box with a blue top.
What mini are we missing?
When
We're working on it.
Echo kicks the rocks, he'll apologize to Mary. Sorry. Sorry.
Where's Sky? Is that Sky?
It should be Sky and Echo in there.
Oh, goodness.
Or is that Sky? Is this one?
The larger one is Sky, yeah.
Oh,
Just a
that's
moment,
who we-
please. So anyway, so as they look over, let's go ahead and what were you doing? I'll give you guys one action before things go south.
I said that I had seen that Echo was slipping, and I threw down my cods on the ground to cast 3 cod money. My duplicates appear next to me.
All right. Reverend activates his 3-card money. we're going to move around here. We'll go one by one and find out. So, Mary, what is your action?
I'm going to command them to leave. The
You're
ogres.
going to command the ogres to leave?
Yeah.
All right, that is a wisdom check again, right? 15 to beat?
Yes, 15.
All right. The two ogres failed the check miserably. And both of them look quite defeated. And I guess we'll have no battle. And they turn and they walk away. Lee?
Did they roll ones?
They rolled a 4 and a 3 on that. I know you were hoping to roll the die. Unfortunately, no, they failed miserably, but even with their bonus to save, it was nowhere near what they needed. So, the ogres begin to trudge off. I believe the duration on that would basically put them out of the area, correct?
Ooh.
1
Okay,
minute.
what's the duration? 1 minute? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yep.
600 feet.
Yeah, they're
600
wandering
feet
away.
for one round.
Well, so off on their little journey they begin. We'll see what happens next. So,
The
one guy has
what do you think
answered
we're
their
doing right
prayers.
now?
Okay,
Sorry about
I'm
that, Chris.
sorry
Well,
to
Is it one turn or is it 1 minute? Let's confirm some things.
it's one turn.
It
they
says
have to
one
move
round.
away. Their full move. They about to spend their whole action moving away. Sorry, I'm
So
talking
they're
as a
just
reverend,
outside
not
the
as.
So they're just outside the map? And then they get to save again, or is it just lasts only one turn?
That's it.
Okay. So they wander off the map. So you guys have bought yourself a little bit of time here.
They can re-stealth.
Rush up to go help the individual on the ground.
All right, let's go ahead and move Vaughn over to the fallen one there.
I'll move up as well.
So they actually no, the dead guy they actually took with him. So it's just those two guys right there. One is helping his other friend to his feet. As Vaughn comes
30 feet.
30 feet, you're gonna use a dash.
Well, are we in an encounter yet? Can I just get up to him?
You know what? You got this round here, so
You can still see them.
they can still see them. So yeah, you can dash up to them.
I'll dash up there.
All right.
Yeah, me
Vaughn
too.
closes the gap and standing next to the two wounded guys. Mary moving in too?
Yes.
Okay, so Mary
Can I
for
join them
dash.
as well? Yeah.
All right, Anna sounds like she's dashing up too.
Me too.
And Yipyip is also going to move as far forward as possible.
in total that'd be 60-foot dash.
And Damon.
Also dash up there.
All right. And looking at Echo, what are you doing, sir?
I'll move my normal 45 and get as close as I can, and I'm gonna cast Barbed Bloom in a 20-foot radius in between us and them, so that they have to walk through a bunch of spikes to get back to
Okay.
That's
us.
as far as you can go right there. Is that good?
That'd be 45 feet.
That's
and then
fine.
20 feet in front of him, he is going to cast the Barbed Bloom.
So this whole area right here.
It's
Very
a
good. So
20-foot
basically-
radius centered.
Radius, then the entire center of the street,
Oh.
basically around the manhole.
That is horrible. Wait a minute, walk you through it.
This guy coming up behind?
This guy is going to move up next to Echo.
Hey, Echo, is that flammable?
It's twists and sprouts, hard spikes, and thorns. So yes, I'd say so.
I will
Each
rule that
plant's
be
gonna be
flammable.
thankful if you believe in yourself.
And Reverend, what are you doing at this point?
Well, I walked up with them or ran up with them to the injured man. I call out to him. You,
You right next to
sir,
him?
you called for aid from the one god.
I think
Here
this
it
is
is.
the time for that.
You got us instead. Let's go.
Is the one that was said to be dead, like dead, or is it able to? Are they able to be stabilized?
Both the men that are staying there are incredibly wounded. They've been beaten down. They're probably near the end of their. ability to stay alive. The other one has been carried off with the ogres, the dead one.
Okay.
So they are dead.
Yeah, I would like to do a prayer of healing. So I'll touch one of them and try and put some healing into them.
Can I grab her
Unfortunately,
hand?
with the dash, that has placed you guys up there. So at this point, everybody has moved. Most people have dashed to get up there. Echo did his 45 feet, cast a spell. Yipyip dashed all the way up. Skeech dashed up behind her. So at this point, it is the actual engagement at this point. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Real quick,
Oh,
would I be able
Damon.
to use my bonus action to hide?
Yes.
That's actually not that bad.
That's a what?
Ooh.
25.
25? All right. And you feel very confident in your ability to disappear there. So let's go ahead and start our initiative here. So let's take a look. Anybody have 21 to 25? All right. Let's go ahead and look at 16 to 20.
Me.
Okay, yip.
I got a 17.
Nice.
All right. So let's look at 11 to 15.
I got 15.
And I got a 13.
I also got a 13.
Please, after you.
All right. So let's go ahead and look at a 6 to a 10.
I got a 9.
7.
All right. So let's, Mary, what was that?
7.
7. Anna?
6.
6. Yip. You got, oh wait, never mind. Yip, you're good. I think Vaughn is our last one, right?
I got a 13. I already
You got
went.
13?
Is Echo the last one?
I got a 9.
All right.
Anna's
so-
the last.
okay.
I'm the last.
So we got Yip.
Yeah.
We got Yip, Brunt,
Classic.
Reverend, Bunny, Damon, Vaughn, Echo, Mary, and Anna at the end. So, Yip, you are first up on the encounter here. What is it that you're wishing to do?
Is it still pouring?
It is very much still raining currently.
I don't think a firebolt on the brambles will work all that well with how heavily it's raining.
It
Magical fire.
might have some issues in the rain.
How far away are the ogres?
At this point, they had their full movement, so they went, I believe, about 100 feet.
50 or 40?
50.
Yeah,
It would be 100
they
feet.
were on either side, so they're 5 and 15 feet off from my perspective.
Yeah, so right now they're actually, unfortunately, off of our battle map. But again, they have moved from where you are, Yip. They are 10. So what, about 120 feet away from where Yip is? 30 feet?
So she would be
Fireball work in
105
this
feet,
rain.
and he would be 120.
120? Okay, so 105 feet and 120 feet.
Magic, baby.
So the female is the closest of the two.
If I were to use fireball, would it still explode before the flames going out?
If you're using a fireball, you said, or firebolt?
Fireball.
Fireball, yes, it would still explode in a giant blast of flame and pain.
Yeah,
It just
anyways,
wouldn't stay burning quite as long.
make them roll a deck save.
Oh my goodness. And they would both be in the blast radius of that, given their proximity. The highest of my two rolls was a 12.
Nope.
Oh boy, I gotta roll.
This is everybody's favorite part, roll damage.
Okay, hold on, let me count. 1,
Big pile of dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, One more 8. Oh my god, Jesus. That is... I need a calculator.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of damage!
24.
Maximum damage.
That's 24 plus 29, then... 35, 36, 37, 37 damage!
Wow.
37 damage. All right.
Ooh-wee.
I rolled
both of them
4
seem to
6s.
Carry the 1.
Yeah. Both of them react very, very poorly to the explosion as it hits them, and the blast of flame blows off a good chunk of the ragged leather that she seems to be wearing, and incinerates a good chunk of the backpack that he had, and a bunch of pieces begin falling out of it. It looks like he's been picking up body parts and such like that for most of the day, or who knows how long they've been in there.
Just wants to lend a hand.
Yes, he did want to lend a hand. Yes, it's well done on that. They're both screaming at this point, patting at the flesh that was burned up on that. And
Can
that,
I argue
moves us down to
that her
what's that?
shouting? Could I argue that her shouting for them to leave on top of the fire, the giant explosion of fire, could work for intimidation?
I will let you roll intimidation on that. Let's go ahead and see what happens.
That's a 18 plus. That's a 23.
23. Yeah, even with my bonuses, that doesn't come anywhere near that. And the two of them look at each other and decide discretion is truly the better part of valor. And turn around and beat feet. So, at this point, the encounter ends. And Brunt and Bunny have run away to possibly fight another day.
Question.
The rain continues to fall. Go ahead.
If you'll allow it, are they still within 120 feet?
I will allow you to make a motion before that occurs. Sure.
Because that's exactly what Vaughn is thinking. He wants to know where they're going. I already have my right on my crossbow. I just want to fire a single shot at the female was the one that was doing the chastising to the one that looked at male ogre, correct? I'm gonna fire a single shot at the female ogre.
Okay. And she was within 105 feet of Yipyip, so that would be more than in range for his crossbow.
Yeah, if they haven't moved yet.
They haven't moved yet. I'm allowing the reaction, so to speak, at this point, is they're going to turn to flee.
A 21 to hit?
21 would beat the armor class, yes. And you stick an arrow in her nice meaty thigh. Oh, sorry, a bullet.
I'm less concerned about the damage as they're running away. More concerned the fact that because my crossbow already had the right on it, that I now know where they are at on this plane of existence until it is dispelled or otherwise removed.
All right, they appear to be making their way towards the Trader's Gate. And as you continue to monitor them, that's the direction they're fleeing.
Very quickly, Will, if you don't mind me just pointing this out to the viewers, is that this map and this encounter has been sitting and waiting for months, and we just finished it in like a few minutes.
Yes, I'm sure Tony and Chris are going to be super duper happy about
I
that.
am so sorry, Chris, for ruining your encounter.
Sorry, not sorry.
We love you, Chris.
Don't worry, Chris. We'll have Bunny and Brunt come back again. You too, Tony. Don't worry. They will be back to play another day.
They didn't die.
They flee. There is that. They did not die. This is true. So that encounter is over at this point. So yes, rain continues to fall, and quiet has returned to the shambles, except for the two gentlemen that are there that look to be quite worse to wear. Looks like Brunt's club must have been doing most of the abuse to these two guys. Armor they have is banged up and battered. You can see one of the guys' swords actually bent. And they're looking at you. Thank you so much. We weren't going to survive that.
Well, you'll
Did you not say something?
Have appeared.
What's that?
I said, your saviors have appeared.
Yes, absolutely on that. Thank you.
What were you all doing out here? It's disgusting out here. Were you making your way back to Newtown?
Dangerous. Very dangerous.
Well, as a matter of fact, yes. When we were waylaid by these horrible creatures, we've been out here for several weeks, going back and forth to the town, and we had a couple of successful runs, but today it looks like that was the end of our luck on that. And I don't believe Frederick will be coming back to see his family. It's his soul. And, we don't have much to repay you with. They took most of our possessions. Actually,
Don't worry about
all
it.
Our possessions at this point.
I'm
I'm sure once we write our families, we will have something to repay you for your kindness.
You don't have to.
The little child who had casted fireball in front of these people speaks up.
Actually, from where they were standing, Bonnie would have blocked the view.
Wow.
No, you wouldn't know. The rest of the party would have blocked the view. Because they had already run off at that point, yes. So yeah, they just saw the explosion of fire down the way and did not know where that came from. The rest of the party was definitely all blocked, especially Sky's big bulk right there too. So yeah, they would not have seen that. So super happy that you have shown up to save their lives.
How about you? Go ahead.
Good.
No, you go ahead. No, you go.
You said
One,
that these
two.
were you said that these were the men that had kicked Katya, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Anna.
Oh, just take whatever kindness you may have given us and perhaps distribute it more equally into the future.
Absolutely on that. Yes. I mean, we do strive to be very honorable men. I mean, but it just. Well, yes. I mean, all of us come from very upstanding families.
Oh, absolutely, Damon. They seem like honorable men, don't they?
Next time that you kick a defenseless woman, remember this moment. Because the next time you're ever in peril, we're not going to save you.
All right. The
really gonna
look
let
on
them
this
get
guy's
off the
face when
TV?
Damon brings that up, like at first you can see that he's searching for the information, and then he remembers, and his face flushes bright red, and he's like, "Well, oh, but I mean, oh yes, yes, that was." I've got nothing. Your kindness has certainly shown me I was in the wrong. And his partner is just like, his head's kind of, ducked down. He's looking away, like at the puddles on the ground. Well, we certainly didn't behave appropriately on that. Yes, I don't believe that I upheld the honor of champion of Asheville for that action. You were correct on that. Yes, good sir, you had something you wanted to say?
Oh, I'll walk up to them and I say, your words are, well, you're saying the right things. And then I hold up my hands and you hear the sound of church bells ringing as that cast presses the digitation. What you need to do, fall down on your knees and beg for forgiveness for your transgressions. The one God does not look kindly to those who kick the defenseless. Do it now.
With
He did
on
something
a
that
skill
mean?
check. Go ahead and give me intimidation on that, Reverend.
Oh, I would love.
Can I assist him? Can
Yeah,
I
can we
assist
help?
him, please?
Yeah, just by like lurking in the background, like.
I will let you roll. I will let you roll with advantage.
Anna and Damon are behind me going,
A piece of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, they did something that mean?
oh,
Yes,
it's a
yes.
really good thing that you're giving me advantage.
What'd you roll?
Oh my god. I just rolled snake eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Ooh. All right.
I was gonna also
Do I have to
argue.
roll twice since he rolls?
No. So as the Reverend does that, he goes to invoke the bells to really kick that intimidation factor in the bell. It starts playing this fun little jaunty that just kind of popped into the Reverend's brain from when he was a small child. They're looking at each other. They're like, and they drop down and like, sir, we beseech you. We're very sorry for what we have done, and we do very much repent. When we return, we will find the woman that we wronged on this and make it right. I can give you nothing else past that. I literally have nothing to swear upon. I mean, my armor is worthless. I've got nothing to offer you in trade. All I can give you is what little bit of honor I've got left.
Not like a lot.
Well, I'm kind of like taken aback that this didn't really pan out. Yeah. You do that.
Yeah.
And you ought to be nicer. Think about what your mama taught you. Have some manners.
We will certainly think about that. Yes, as a matter of fact. And who might we say has been so kind as to save us this day?
Rightful king of Granitegard and his
Like
friend.
loyal servants.
Well, hold on.
Okay. At this point, the two men look over. They're looking right at the Reverend. They're like, "You're claiming to be the rightful king of Granitegard?"
No,
Is that-
not me. Guys, someone else got to take over here. I'm not.
The Reverend turns out and walks off.
I'm not doing it right.
Yipyip just points to Vaughn.
Yep.
I
take it
I extend both hands down to help these two individuals up off of their feet and pull them up.
All right. As you are pulling them up and lifting them up, they're staring at you very, very, very intently for a moment. They're like, as the rain is washing away the smudges of dirt on Vaughn's face that were his primary disguise, they look at you and they're both like, Estra. And at this point, they both drop back down again, and they're on their knees in front of you, and they're like,
Yank them right back
Do
up.
you
Nope.
swear that
That's
we will serve you
unnecessary. That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary.
But
Very.
surely you must let the people know. This is amazing news.
This is news that is earlier than anticipated. Yes.
When the time is
You
right.
wish to wait longer, sire?
There are concerns that if we share this information with individuals too soon, that it may cause disruption in Newtown. And we want people to be taken care of. Yes, Anna?
You two are among the first favored few. And now, as a true test of your honor, we ask that you hold this secret close.
Anna, I'm not looking to start a cult. I'm starting to rebuild a kingdom.
They really share a lot of the same characteristics. And we're just asking that.
He says, I, Selwyn, champion of Asheville, swear that I will serve you, sir, in this. And my friend, I'm Javier, the Dauntless. And we will both be waiting for you at the Red Valerian Inn. When your time comes, you call upon us, and we will be there at your side. You have, well, when we get blades, you'll have those.
Well,
Loyal knights.
It sounds like it, Echo.
All servants of the true king must don the uniform of white makeup and a red nose. This is a requirement to display your faith.
Echo.
And he just kind of looks at Reverend like...
You go ahead and give the exception on that, or are you trying to persuade, or are you trying
This
to
is
deceive?
insane!
I'm not lying. I think I'm right.
Echo, are you deceiving or are you trying to persuade?
Either way, it's a -1, but for my sake, it is persuasion.
Oh wait, is this
Okay,
a
let's go
saving?
ahead
Is
and
this
roll
a saving
persuasion.
throw?
No, it's just a roll. That's gonna be an 8 - 1 for a 7.
Vaughn is trying to course correct as much as possible. That is not the case. That is optional, if anything.
Not optional.
I was unaware that
It's not optional.
You just told me about that.
Echo, will you I'm gonna extend my hand and ask for the
we did
nose.
not see anyone wearing this uniform.
I'll take one too.
Of the red nose and white face paint. Is this something new?
It's only
It's-
for his most
we all
esteemed
put on
knights.
We all
Making
put
it up.
berries on our noses.
Yeah.
I think they're making it up.
What are you talking about?
But if you don't mind, sir, we will continue to don our regular crests and such, but we will certainly serve you in whatever capacity you need.
All right, right now, as I look to my left and look to my right, and I see all of my companions wearing clown garb. Okay. I look and I take this moment in. Yes, I will remember this moment. It began here.
Oh, I am sure
Vaughn
this
is
memory
saying
we
is
will
that
forever
now-
carry with us.
Wanna
This
point
is
out-
how we know who our supportors are.
wanna
Please
point out-
Very, very good then. And they begin to back away from you all right now as they're walking away. One says to the other,
Scared them away.
I think his men are completely insane. They can probably hear you when you say this.
As
Yeah.
as
See-
they're walking away, I say, now they're part of the family. And I just start spraying. I conjure what it looks like, kind of like a potion bottle, but like it's got, you might call it like a plastic cap on the top. And then as I shake it up, a colorful orange or red liquid sprays out of it.
Oh my.
Yes, Damon.
I wanted to point out that Damon's not wearing any of the clown garb. He's just wearing his normal outfit, which is clownish enough.
You be clowned yourself.
And off into the late afternoon, they proceed, dragging their
That is-
poor battered bodies back towards Newtown.
Everyone.
This
That is not
happened.
how. That is not how I wanted that first unveiling to go.
Yeah, that's
Really,
the
we don't get it
thing.
out here.
I thought it went very well.
I think it was terribly.
It's a moment to remember.
There's no doubt about that. Echo, why are you so why are you so obsessed with clowns?
That's a secret.
Well, Echo, we were just talking about this earlier. I thought we had to do away with the secrets.
I told you I'd have to kill you, Vaughn.
If that's how you feel.
Shall we keep going?
Honk, honk.
It just swishes. It's a berry.
Onward!
Oh my god.
Are they okay?
Is what Yipyip like quietly whispers to Vaughn as like we're walking back.
I don't know if any of us are okay, Yipyip. I don't know if any of us are okay right now. Yeah, Yipyip, you know what? Those two individuals are okay. And so no matter what's happening here, we've done something good. I just don't know. And he just trails off into mumbles, not knowing how to describe or recount what just happened.
This party is mentally insane. God almighty.
So, the rest of the journey back to the garrison tower goes uneventful. And you're very thankful to reach the walls of the garrison tower and pass through the front gate, cross the cobblestone, and into the warm, safe interior of the garrison tower proper. Coming back in, you can see that people are very happy to have you back. They're like, "Oh my goodness!" And some people are bringing you some towels and some blankets and stuff. Like, "Oh, please come by the hearth, dry yourselves off. It's good to see you again, sire. Welcome back. Welcome back. Are you hungry? Anything we can do for you?"
Well, to be honest, we haven't had dinner. If there's anything left, we'd be more than happy to have that.
As they seat you in the dining area, the two cooks more than happily hop into the kitchen, and you can hear them kind of singing and arguing a little bit back and forth as they're making dinner for you. Outside of that, again, inside the dining area there's that large hearth. There's a seating area in front of it. There are several tables with chairs around them. This time of the evening, there are multiple families kind of gathered in here, several individuals drinking some mead as they're talking, and all of them give you a salute. Kids are running around, and what is it you're doing at this point?
Getting dry by the fire and just, I guess, enjoying the semblance of peace that we have for but a moment here before we head back down.
All right. So all of you take your time to dry off. You're going to refresh your clothes and anything like that while you're here?
Go and talk to the people inside the garrison tower, and I start to try to talk to them about how to do the drops, and sort of like coaching them on some of the old smuggling methods that my family had used when we ran the Thieves Guild. So you see,
that actually develops into a wonderful conversation there. There are multiple people here that do remember your parents, and there's some fun stories that are swapped back and forth, and they seem quite excited to kind of be re-engaging the business of the old days. And like, oh, fantastic. Well, when are we supposed to be doing these drops? You know, they're kind of actually looking forward to that at that point. And once they bring people to the tower, where should we store them? Are we going to be transporting them towards the city? Where are we going after that?
No, you're gonna bring them in here. And then that entrance into the underground under the city that we found here in the tower, you're gonna be taking those goods in there to our new allies, the kobolds. Now, this is kind of going straight a little bit, legitimate business, but it's still a little bit like the old days, because the King George and the Concordance forces out there could complicate things if they find out that we've got this passage of goods going on.
Right. We'll be more than happy to stick it to the Concordance on that. That'd be quite fun on that. But we're not really quite interested in taking it down the tunnel, that's okay. We can bring it down to the base of the tunnel, but going into the city, is there any way we could avoid that part? Maybe the small little friends of yours could come and collect it down there in the tunnels?
Yeah.
the map.
Yipyip here is our liaison to the kobold. She's drawn you a map, but
And she like opens up the little map of the
Lays
spheres
on
with
the
like the path.
kobolds.
liaison like
an ambassador.
go between.
Oh, an ambassador. Okay, yes, okay. I was quite confused about laying on kobolds, but if that's what you wish to do.
Here.
But where are we down?
And she like hands the map out to them to look at.
What is this for?
It's the map.
For what?
And it's
We're not going into that city. Like I said, we'll be happy to bring the supplies out of the tunnel, but that's about where our loyalty ends on that, if you don't mind. There's quite a lot of scary things that want to eat people over there. So, I mean, we don't mind, encountering people, but slaughtering monsters and ogres and no offense, Sir Skeech, goblins and such, but we prefer to avoid that. That's okay.
There's not really a lot anymore after you guys fought them all.
I agree. Why don't we just take care of the part where we bring it here to the garrison tower and then down into the tunnels, and then the small little creatures that are quite versed at navigating the scary, scary, scary place over there come and get their supplies.
It's not that scary.
It is scary a lot for us.
The top is scarier.
We don't want to go there.
Well,
I think you're missing the point where we kind of stop bringing it to the tunnels.
We'll arrange for individuals to come and pick it up from the tower. Don't worry.
We really appreciate that, my lord. Thank you so very much.
Just remember, son, you're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, we're doing somebody's work, but it's okay.
That's honest work, at least this time. Am I right?
Oh yes, and sticking to the concordance is always a good thing for us.
Vaughn,
Yes, what is it, Yipyip?
did I pay them too for helping us?
Well, kind of like looks around and kind of sees. First things first, this is maybe complicated, but do the people look like they have enough supplies and resources here still, or do they look like that they're beginning to hurt and kind of be challenged?
Sir, the way we kind of see it here, the Reverend is the new head of the Thieves Guild, and it's kind of what we all serve at this point in time. And seeing as you are the would-be king, or sovereign, wherever you decide to crown yourself, that also bodes well for us, so we don't mind throwing in a bit of service on that. There's plenty of food and such for us to eat here, and we're protected by these walls. So, bit of a trade, this and that. We scratch your back, you scratch our back. Everybody's back is scratched.
Well, as long as everyone here is taken care of, then it looks back over to Yip. Yip, it seems like they are looking for other types of compensation, so I don't think your coin will be necessary. So when you're king or sovereign or whatnot at that point, a bit of a blind eye towards, the little thievery and such that we might be into, right, Reverend? And,
Well, yes. That's what I was gonna get to. As you're going about your duties, if you find the opportunity to liberate some coin from any of the members of the Concordance, go ahead and do that. Don't get yourselves in trouble, but feel free to ply your old trade, as it were.
Oh, absolutely. Your old habits do kind of die hard every so often. Brother. What's that?
Huh?
So that's why I said something on there. I apologize. You enjoyed technology on that, right? So anyway, seems that you have made the arrangements on that. Anything else that you're doing at this point?
Not really, no.
I mean, no.
Just enjoying dinner? Okay. So after the food comes out, you all have a very, very nice meal, a hearty beef stew and some big biscuits. They also bring out some butter to spread on the biscuits and a little bit of honey as well. After dinner, are you all going to stay the night here and then head out in the morning, or what are you looking to do?
I think we should wait out the storm.
I don't think it'll affect going through the tunnels that much, will it?
Oh.
I can't imagine it would.
Make the water levels higher, but it's pretty smelly down there no matter what.
There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you guys are heading out tonight?
Are we resting?
I think it might be a good idea to rest before we
Maybe a
go.
little long rest. Yeah.
Oh, I sure would love. Sure would love a rest. No reason.
Looks like you all are spending the night there at the Garrison Tower, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Up to the top is where I'm taking where most of you go to spend the night, the area that's been refurbished for you. All right. Any of you requesting a bath or anything along those lines?
Oh, that would be great.
Echo's
All right.
natural
So
musk.
Echo's a big no.
I want one.
Barry wants one. All right. They will work on bringing up the hot water for you. Anybody else going to take advantage of that?
Definitely.
No. If it's there. Yeah.
This might be the last time for a long time.
I don't think Yipyip has ever had a bath before.
Oh, you don't
you
know what
did
you're
fall
missing.
into the water there for a while, so I mean, I guess that's what Echo would qualify as a bath. Are you going to
There's more so a
indulge in
question of like Yipyip looking up to them like, what's a bath?
Oh, it's where you sit in this gorgeous porcelain tub with little bronze feet and you soak up to your neck in warm water with bubbles. It's glorious! Nobody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
So we got Mary, Anna, looks like Yipyip's joining in, and Vaughn. Reverend as well,
Yep.
Damon.
And me.
So the only two people, I'm not sure what Skeech is doing, but I'm pretty sure he's going to avoid a bath. So
I think he's trying to bathe.
Echo and
Skeech,
Sky are kind of hanging out by the fire. You guys going to enjoy some food by the fire up there in your little private area?
Yeah, I think we make some s'mores or something.
All right, so you guys are eating some s'mores. What else is enjoying about it? And Yip, it is everything they promised you. It is an amazingly wonderful experience. The warm water. They even bring up some little bit of soap to put in there, and it's also got the rose petals and stuff soaked into it as well. So you guys are all sitting there kind of steaming and relaxing. Little curtains drawn
Yipyip
around
is
it so you have
probably
your
clean
privacy.
for the first time in like forever.
Are these separate? Like we're getting separate tubs, correct?
They're separate tubs. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. The reason listen, people, I'm making sure they're not just reheating the water or anything like this. Like there's like getting emptied out each time.
No,
Yeah,
it's
fair.
clean water.
I've
that's
not
being
shared a
brought up
bath
for
of
you on
any use.
that.
What was that?
It's clean fresh water that's brought up for you. They're separate tubs. There are a total of 5 tubs.
Okay.
Which is good because only 5 of you are taking advantage of the bath. So that works. Oh, wait, no. There's 6, right? No, one of you has to wait your turn.
Ooh.
So whoever decides to wait for the end, be nice to their friends. But regardless, all of you end up having a bath before the end of the evening comes on that. Next morning, nice rest for the evening, breakfast before you leave. Anything else you're doing at the tower before you go? Or anything you're doing that particular night? We'll start with Mary and work our way across. Anything you're doing that evening or in the morning before you go?
I'm just gonna spend some time in prayer before we go. And, I want to talk to the one God about maybe some, wisdom about our steps that we're going to be taking, because we're kind of unsure about order of how we want to do things, and I kind of just want to, see if I can discern any kind of direction.
Divine guidance on where to head.
Yeah.
Okay. Anna, what are you looking to do?
I'll bathe last. And so while Echo and Skeech are sitting around making s'mores for the first little bit. I want to go up and talk to Echo. Echo, so you brought up something kind of heavy while we were in the tunnels, and I just wanted to check in about it. How are you doing? Do you want to talk about them? I'm referring to all of your friends dying on the mountain in the horrible, horrible fire.
He just kind of looks at Skeech, who is already familiar.
Oh, good.
I think I'd like to not talk as much about the, harrowing experience of it and the crushing depression and the, heavy guilt. I think that's better to bring up when everyone's there so they know that, why I'm here. But
that makes sense.
I can tell you about what it was like up there if you promise not to tell anybody. It's actually a secret. I was doing a joke with Vaughn earlier.
Okay. I promise. Yeah, it can be hard to be the one who survives.
Yeah. It was really nice. I miss it a lot. There's nothing left of it. They called it Drugmar. It was in the Dragonspire Mountains, if you're familiar.
I've heard of them.
We were tucked away in such a way that no one would ever see us. It was built in somewhat of a volcano so that the smoke would mask off any visitors from ever seeing us, except for Mary's father. But it was incredible. It flourished with life, and we lived our own way, and we supported each other. It was small, kind of like how our team functions now. We're all different, but all brought together for something, and I miss that.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's very different from all the backstabbing and secrets that you all get up to.
Yes, I can see how that would be somewhat of an adjustment. Yeah. Well, thank you for telling me about them. And I'm gonna take my s'more and be like, to fallen friends.
And if you ever want to talk, I am famously a good listener.
Oh, okay. Well, you are. Yeah. That's true. It's just like, it's just so hard to talk about some of these things sometimes. But maybe that comes mostly with the backstabbing and the lying and the scene.
I could see how that would stop people and require more secrets, but it's a burden to carry that alone, as I'm finding out. So
yeah.
And I imagine having a father known as the Spy Master maybe doesn't help with the secrets.
Certainly doesn't, Echo. He told us for as long before the fall, he told us that he was just a merchant doing business, and and he trained me. But I thought it was just merchant things. I thought that that's what I was getting ready for. And then after the fall, that's when things change. But so now he sounded, we escaped, and he just sounded crazy. He started saying all these things, he'd failed the king, and he could have prevented it. And we were all like, oh, what, did you not trade enough copper, Dad? It was just a little surprising, and he just kept trying to get back. He was obsessed with the city, Echo. He was obsessed with it.
I have to imagine they might be ahead of us there now. Mary's father involved with the one god in the church and the corruption there. My master, I'm assuming, is hot on the trail of what happened to my monastery. But does your father know of Vaughn's existence?
I don't know.
Surely his priorities would lie with us if he knew. He had a second chance at saving the king.
I haven't seen him in 10 years, Echo. I have no idea what he could possibly be thinking.
Well, stick with us. Mary and I believe he's traveling with that same group, and we're tracking them. So if we find one of them, we find them all.
Yes. And hopefully we'll get some of our questions answered.
Hopefully. Okay, enjoy your snack.
Yeah, this is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it though.
Yeah. Like, I wish I could have more of them, you know? Like, what would, like some more?
Nah, that's stupid. Let me think of something else here. Watch me tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so now we know what Echo and Honor are involved in. Yipyip, anything else you're doing aside from enjoying this amazing bath?
For first and foremost, does anyone actually tell her how to take a bath?
Do kobolds not bathe?
Do you see a place they could bathe?
Well, I call over the, like the wall or whatever, like, Yipyip, yeah, so this is you get to experience one of the finer things in life, something that comforts that many of us enjoy. When I'm flush of coin, I like to, go take a nice warm bath and get a bottle of potion, bring it with me, as it were. But grab that thing with the handle, and it's got some bristles on it. You use that to kind of scrub yourself, get clean. You'll figure it out. Mostly, you just kind of sit there.
Just kind of magically make myself clean. Is that not enough?
Well, you and I both know that prestidigitation is clean your clothes and things like that, but doesn't really clean well, I guess you don't have hair, but wouldn't get your scales and stuff clean like that. Which that reminds me, I've been meaning to ask you, where did you learn how to do that?
Do what?
The small magical tricks.
The mother taught me how to do them.
I'm just really fascinated by this because I've never seen anyone else who could do that before.
So, every very once in a while, one kobold is born with a lot of magic, and that kobold is usually female and has to take up the role of alpha mother someday. The alpha mother knew I had a lot of magic, so she taught me magic and how to do it properly. I had the magic potential, but I didn't know how to use it properly until she taught me.
So you were born with it, but you still had to learn how to wield it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret? Yip.
Yeah?
I know how to do magic too.
I knew that.
Oh, well, the potions, they don't really do anything.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they don't really feel magic.
Well, I fooled a lot of people with it.
Yeah, a lot of people can't feel magic.
You're the first person to figure it out.
That's fair. But yeah, you had a lot of the same. You knew a lot of the same magic as me. A lot, but some of the magic you knew was the same as me. So it wasn't hard to figure out.
Well, like I said, I use it as a shield, so to speak, because like we've learned a lot in the past couple days, people up there, they don't take kindly to this kind of magic.
I think that's dumb.
Well, I too, of course, but I don't know if I was born with what I can do or if I learned it. I found a book when I was in my schooling. That's how I learned how to do some of the basic things I can do. Some of the other things, like the illusions that I can cast and things like that, they just happen, and then I just decide what color potion that would be that would make sense for it, to be honest. Sometimes I sell the healing potions to people.
You can ask the Alpha Mother about it if you really want to. She knows a lot more than me. I'm still learning a lot.
I would really like to do that, Yipyip. I appreciate it.
I can also tell you about my magic too.
I would love to know about it.
Okay. So, and I'm gonna assume she was wrapping up by this point, as she's like waltzing out and like going to get her little notebook, and she brings it out, and she's like, "No, I have a lot of it depends on the person. I have a lot of fire magic."
All right, at this point in time, you see Reverend and Yipyip begin to go off to their side. As the two of you are going to discuss magic, the tub that was sitting in between of them is Damon's tub, and you've kind of been yelling back and forth across it. Damon, I'm assuming you probably just sat the whole time with the towel or something over your head, just trying to block this conversation out, or what were you doing?
The entire time that conversation is going on, I just took the towel, put it over my head completely, and I just sank lower into the tub, just trying to block it out because I didn't want to hear it anymore.
I was gonna say that Reverend probably came up after they took a bath. If it was taking so long.
I love what we've just created.
Basically, you guys are yelling from tub to tub across Damon's tub there. So, all right, we're going to break at that cliffhanger moment there. We'll find out what Vaughn does in his tub action when we return next week. And we'll see how Mary's interaction and prayer goes. Thank you very much.
It's the entire episode next week.
Next time.
Vaughn's bathtub experience. So, yes, thank you for bearing with us as we work through the COVID situation we got going on here. Hopefully, we'll have everybody back in the studio shortly. We hope you stay safe and stay away from COVID and have an absolutely wonderful week. And we will see you here next week, 7 p.m. Sunday evening, Eastern Standard Time. You all have a great day.